As much as we love to admire the extreme sports community, there's no denying that some of the things these people do are downright insane, and perhaps no one embodied this spirit of insanity better than Dean Potter. Potter was a legend in the world of extreme sports, known for his daring climbs, base jumps and wingsuit flights, but what many people don't know is that he also had a hilarious, irreverent side that was just as entertaining as his death-defying stunts. So, in honor of Potter's legacy and his unique sense of humor, we've compiled a list of some of the funniest moments from his career as an extreme sportsman. The time he dressed up like a squirrel. In 2010, Potter decided to take his wingsuit flying to a whole new level. He donned a squirrel costume and took to the skies, gliding through the air like a real-life Rocky the Flying Squirrel. Of course, being the daredevil that he was, Potter also included some risky maneuvers in his flight, like flying between two trees and over a river, but it was the sight of a grown man in a squirrel suit that really stole the show. The time he set a world record for the highest base jump. Potter was always pushing the limits of what was possible in the world of base jumping, and in 2009 he set a new world record for the highest base jump ever made, leaping from a height of 200 feet off the Eiger in Switzerland. But what made this jump truly hilarious was the fact that Potter was wearing a pair of inflatable shorts that made him look like he had a giant butt. It's not often that you see someone break a world record while also making a fashion statement. The time he climbed Delicate Arch in a Moab man thong. Potter was known for his free solo climbs, where he would climb without any ropes or safety equipment. But in 2006, he decided to take things to the next level by climbing the iconic Delicate Arch in Moab, Utah, while wearing nothing but a tiny Moab man thong. Needless to say, the sight of a nearly naked man scaling a 65 feet tall sandstone arch was quite the spectacle. Potter later explained that he wore the thong as a tribute to the spirit of adventure that permeates Moab, but we're pretty sure he just wanted to give us all a good laugh. The time he walked a highline in a Batman costume. Highlining, which involves walking across a slackline suspended high above the ground, is already a pretty intense activity, but in 2012, Potter decided to up the ante by walking a highline in a full Batman costume. As if the sight of a superhero walking a tightrope wasn't ridiculous enough, Potter also included some acrobatic moves in his routine, like doing a backflip on the line. We can only imagine what the citizens of Gotham would have thought if they'd seen their Cape Crusader doing highline stunts in his spare time. The time he climbed Half Dome in a tutu. Potter's climb of Yosemite's Half Dome in 2006 was already impressive enough, but he decided to make things even more memorable by wearing a tutu for the ascent. Yes, you read that right, a tutu. According to Potter, the tutu was a tribute to his friend and fellow climber Dan Osman, who was known for wearing one himself. But let's be real, it was also a hilarious way to make an already impressive climb even more memorable. The time he climbed a massive rock formation in a onesie. In 2014, Potter climbed a massive rock formation in Yosemite National Park while wearing a unicorn onesie. Yes, you read that right, the unicorn onesie. The climb itself was already impressive, with Potter free soloing up the 300 feet tall formation without any safety equipment. But the sight of a grown man in a onesie made it all the more entertaining. The time he base jumped with a squirrel suit on. Potter was no stranger to base jumping, but in 2013 he decided to take things up a notch by wearing a squirrel suit during a jump. The suit, which resembled a flying squirrel with flaps of fabric between the arms and legs, allowed Potter to glide through the air like a bird. But what made this particular jump hilarious was the fact that Potter had the word squirrel written on his helmet, just in case anyone wasn't sure what he was supposed to be. The time he slacklined with a mattress strapped to his back. Slacklining is already a difficult enough activity, but Potter decided to add an extra level of challenge by strapping a mattress to his back and attempting to walk across a slackline. The sight of a grown man wobbling back and forth with a giant mattress on his back was certainly entertaining, but we have to wonder if Potter ever considered the fact that falling off the slackline with a mattress attached could be quite dangerous. The time he base jumped with a tiny parachute. Potter was always looking for ways to push the limits of what was possible in the world of base jumping. In 2008, he decided to see just how small of a parachute he could use and still survive a jump. The answer, a tiny pink and purple parachute that looked like it belonged to a child's toy. But Potter made the jump successfully, proving once again that he was willing to take risks that few others would even consider. Dean Potter may have been an extreme sportsman, but he also had a sense of humor that was just as daring as his stunts. From dressing up like a squirrel to wearing a unicorn onesie, Potter always found ways to make his adventures even more entertaining. Though he passed away in 2015, his legacy lives on as an inspiration to anyone who wants to live life on the edge and have a good laugh while doing it.